So guys, here I am on this job. This one here is a Remeha Tzerra. The PCB from here is just down there. Oh, not the PCB, but yeah, the controller. That's just there. The reason why it's there is because I visited this property yesterday. It's dripping. So as you can see, there you go, drip, drip, drip. There's another one, there you go. So it's dripping and drip here. There you go, so that's dripping as well. Other engineers have been here before me and told the customer that they need to buy a new boiler. It's not advised to repair it. This boiler is only 5 years old. And so I've come, I'm gonna get on with it and show you what the issue is. So to start, let's undo the screws. The reason why it's leaking is because this hydro block has a crack on the cold water inlet. So what I did yesterday was to confirm my theory if it was the hydro block that was leaking. I actually drained the system down, turned the water off, took the plate heat exchanger off, put new rubber washers in on the four rubber washers, put it all back together again, and it still dripped, which obviously confirmed that the hydro block is leaking. The hydro block, you can't just get the right hand side, you have to get the whole thing. So let's open this up. All new seals, obviously you gotta get the burner out, so they're giving you complete new burner seal as well. Condensed, gaskets, everything's new. And there we have it. Here is the new hydro block. So it's a complete hydro block going in. Yeah, some people probably think I need to get a new boiler, but on a serious note, it's definitely more beneficial to change this because I personally think it's not going to be a big job. It's just a matter of undoing the nuts there, a couple of fasteners that are holding the hydro block to the heat exchanger, get that out, job done. I'll service the boiler at the same time and everybody's a winner. So first I'm going to start by draining the water down. And to drain, we just basically open it up here, put the hose pipe on, and directly beneath the boiler is a toilet, so I'm going to drain it directly into the toilet. So the boiler is now drained, and this bit here is the cold water isolation. So we'll just turn this off as well. That's off. Hot water tap on, nothing coming out, so that's all good. And before we start, let's have a cup of coffee. Well, a sip of my cup of coffee. Coffee is an essential part of the job. Right, water's been killed off, heating circuit's been drained. Let's start stripping the boiler. So to do this, let's first of all remove the air intake. When you remove the flue connector, there's always a bit of water in the flue turret, so just dry that up with a bit of tissue. And always remember to remove it. A new gasket comes as well with the pack, so we'll remove that. I want to remove the plate heat exchanger. Not that I think I need to, but this is more just so I can get more access. And by opening it up, it'll allow water to come out the hot tap, drain off any residual water. There you go, plate off. So this cable for the hall sensor, take it off like so. Isolate the gas, and let's remove the fan and gas assembly and the burner. And like I said, it comes with a new burner seal as well, so I'm going to take that burner seal off as well, dispose of that. Burner's alright, pretty good nick. Let's pull the condensed bottle out. Actually, I suppose if I do that, there'll be a lot of water coming out, so therefore, let's get a rag in there and dry the water up first. And the reason how I knew that it's the cold water that's leaking, or the hot water, was because, firstly, there's limescale obviously built up on the hydro block, but mainly because the water was absolutely clear and literally drinkable. and the system pressure was not dropping at all. So therefore I knew straight away that it's got to be on the domestic water side and not the heating circuit. And I'm squeezing my towel into pots that are already here. I'm not just doing it on the work surface. That's better. The boiler's a bit more dry. Good. Now to remove the condensed bottle. Right, the siphon's been cleaned out as well. I'm going to use my dedicated 24mm and 32mm spanners just for a bit more leverage. And the good thing is that I noticed that all the pipework is MLCP. So if you notice, I can just move the pipework out of the way because it's not rigid. Steel or copper pipe further down. So that actually helped out. There you go, that's that done. So this was definitely, in my opinion, a better option than replacing the boiler, because this boiler is only 5 years old, and also the fact that the whole hydro block is going to be renewed now as one piece. We've just built the boiler again. So that's the nice thing about the Remeha Tzerra, that if the body hasn't rusted, I will always keep this boiler in situ and just keep repairing it. It's if the body itself gets rusted, then you have to change the boiler because it's no longer room sealed. So now undo this clip here, 4mm Allen key, because that's holding that in place. And this one here. Let's undo these connections on the return. And that's that done. Okay, done. And then just a matter of undoing this clip. And this clip up here. And now we can just shimmy this out. Okay, done. The hydro block has just come away. There you go. Lift it up. And there you go, hydro block out. Boiler's in very good condition still, no rusting. So new hydro block going in. I need to make sure that all the washers are actually in, just checking that. So this one is missing a washer. Let's get it out of the packaging. All the rubber washers that I need to fit, I'm gonna make sure I silicone grease them. And this way they just make sure that it sits in place. Okay. And also, before I put it all back together, I'm gonna make sure I dry the boiler out 100%, just to make sure it's dry, so when I put it all back together, I can see that it's not dripping anymore. So that's dry, done. And make sure the cables are out the way. And let's drop the block in. There you go, the block is in, guys. Fabulous. Block is in situ. There's these 2 retaining clips. Fabulous. And this is why it's just a no-brainer that I prefer to repair than replacing boilers. This was a lot lighter, a lot quicker, a lot more economical for the customer. New boilers just cost everyone more in every way. More on carrying heavy tools, heavy everything. I just managed to do the whole repair with literally a few tools, you know, and a screwdriver here somewhere. Let's do this return connection. Done. And just tight, check these ones as well. Yep, tight, 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 brilliant. And now put the flow back in. So So as part of the kit, you get new O-rings for here and for here. So make sure you always, like, you know, always renew O-rings. And then grease them up before you push them in. And like I always say, be generous with your lube. More the merrier. In goes into the manifold first. Nice and tight. And then slide it up a little bit. And in it goes into the heat exchanger. New clips did come with the new hydro block, but I'm gonna actually use the old ones and keep the new ones as spares because the existing ones are in perfect condition. Lovely jubbly. Clip that back on there. Actually, I can pressurize the system. Yeah, that's all connected, that's connected. Let's connect up underneath and pressurize. And now, moment of truth. Let's put the cold water on first. Cold water is back on. Water is flowing through the tap. So that's a good sign. Perfect. And now, let's put the bottle trap back in, because I want to flush the heat exchanger out. So put that back to the drains. The bottle trap also, as part of the package, there's a new seal for the bottle trap, which I will put on after I flush the heat exchanger out. So first I'm going to use a toothbrush and just brush as much as I can. With a posi screwdriver, open up the electrodes, get them out. They don't look too bad, they just need a bit of a brush, clean them down and put them back in. But I'm going to wash the heat exchanger as well. That's it, they're clean. So the nice thing about this boiler is that there's a pressure gauge on it, an analog one. So I don't need to power the boiler up. I'll just fill it up to about 1.5 bar, test for leaks, and then flush the heat exchanger. Right, that's connected. And there we go. Water is back on. System is pressurizing. Pressure is increasing, venting itself. We are now in the green. No leaks. And we're at 1.5. Turn that off, turn that off. So I've undone the connection off the heating circuit, left it connected to the cold water tap. So taking the hose pipe and putting it into the heat exchanger, I just run the water and that just flushes everything off the heat exchanger. The heat exchanger is now clean. Job done. The condensed bottle is now full of shit. I will wash that away as well. Just put the electrodes back in first, which are down here, nice and clean. There you go, done. Let's put the burner back. New gasket onto the burner. It goes one way. It does have numbers. Just gotta remember that the number side goes on top and that goes to the left of the heat exchanger. And on the actual burner it says top. Obviously that's the top side. Pretty self-explanatory, but mistakes can be made. So the good news is, whilst I'm doing this, I'm listening out for any leaks and drips, but nothing. It is sound. Sound as a pound. So there you go, that's that. That goes in there. Sits nice and snug. Perfect. Let's get that out. There's a new gasket. And obviously the sump gasket I've already removed. And here's the new ones. So that goes on here. There you go. New sump gasket. That's secure. Hall sensor for the cold water. Put that on. Just so that you all know, there is a non-return valve just in there, inside the air and gas mixture inlet. Always just check to see that that is free and moving. Burner, gas unit back in place. and it's just hinged on. So one hinge there, the other hinge done there. And now to connect all these back up, it's pretty self-explanatory. You can't really make a mistake with these. They're all going to go in the they can only go in their own home or positions. That's all connected. Ignition back into its transformer. Earth to earth. 3/4 new washer for the gas. Nice and tight. Flue collector goes in like so. Into here like so. Done. Air intake. Slides behind there. Done. Now, only thing left is the condense. So condense has been washed out. I'm going to now just change the gasket. Okay, that's out. New gasket going in. Not too sure if I should put grease on it or not, but I just will. Just to make it a bit easier to push in. Okay. And that's home. Good. That's home. That's good. Just to let you know, the PCB is actually up on the boiler. This is just a user interface. Powering up. And now to finish off my coffee. LDF jobby. Oh, we're tight. We're tight there. Good. Boiler's done its purge as well, and there you go. Fires up, boom. It's a light. When this green light is on, when this light is on and it's green, and it turns off twice, that means it's in hot water mode. It's just heated up the plate heat exchanger. And then when it's steady and it flashes only once off, that's heating mode. So now I'm put the hot water on, and there we have it. So you see, green, steady, and off twice. That's just basically telling you it's in hot water mode. Safety checks. I'm going to carry out my inlet burner pressure first. That goes on there. Perfect. Hold down the status button, or flash orange. Press it twice. Maximum burner. And here she goes. 18 millibars, 18 millibars, 17, 18 millibars, there you go, perfect. Perfect, we're getting there. Sugar at 5% O2 and about 9% carbon dioxide. That's it, I'm almost within tolerance. Fantastic. And now by adjusting my combustion, my actual gas working pressure is 20 millibars, so that's perfect as well. I'm going to press the orange button once to go back to low flame or low fire, and I want to write these results down quickly. And now on low fire, so using a 2mm Allen key, I'm going to change that, set this up as well. clockwise to increase. Let's go to about 5.5% oxygen, 8.8 to 9% CO2. There we go. Good. Perfect. 6% CO. I'm happy with that. Give it a couple more seconds to stabilize. I'd say that's long enough. Stop. Perfect. There you go. Get that out. Get that out. Press reset to come out of service mode. Turn that off. That's off. There. Closed. Bit more LDF. So there we have it. Job done. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Yeah, just tightened all that up. No more leaks. Just gonna take my blue hose with me. Put the buckets away. Clean up. Put the cover back on. Stick my stickers on it. Obviously my good old. My stickers will go on the boiler. And we're done. Finish off the coffee. Finish off the water. And I'll see you all